Good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to you all. Importance of care for the caregivers. Caregiver stress is due to emotional, physical strain of caregiving. Caregivers report much higher stress levels than anyone. Many caregivers are on call almost all day and night too. Sometimes this means there is little or no time for work or other family members or friends. Caregiving roles take on countless shapes and forms. But if the caregiving responsibilities become too demanding, over time they become exhausted and stressed. Caretaker burnouts occur when the stress and burden from these negative effects become overwhelming, negatively affecting your life and health. A caregiver with burnout becomes overwhelmed with physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausted from the stress and burden of caring for their loved ones. They may feel alone, unsupported, or unappreciated. They often haven't been taking good care of themselves and may be depressed. Eventually, they can lose interest in caring for themselves and the person they look after. Almost every caretaker experiences burnout at some point. If it does happen and it's not addressed, the caregiver eventually becomes unable to provide good care. I can very well empathize and relate to it absolutely, having gone through it myself. From taking antidepressant drugs to having tummy upsets, backaches, headaches, formation of cysts, eczemas, I found myself struggling to keep myself, I can't say healthy, but to keep going because I've never given myself priority. And this is the case with most caregivers. The manifestation of stress can take many forms. How does one deal with it? To answer some of this, we have here with us today some experts on this subject. Our first speaker today is Jaanvi Tourani. She has done her BA and Masters in Psychological Counseling, Educational Counseling from Indian Institute of Psychology and Research affiliated to Bangalore University. At present, she is a counselor for individuals and couples. She facilitates combining different modalities using psychology and Eastern philosophy as her base. She has done her arts-based research project with Ankur, Home for Orphanage Children. She has worked with 9 standard girls, 14 years, on their psycho, socio, and emotional issues. She has been a trainer of access consciousness for 3 years. She has conducted life skills workshops for postgraduate students, hypnosis relaxation sessions for 12 standards students. She has worked as a special educator for MR children. She's also an arts-based therapy practitioner, access consciousness, energy healing, Bach Fla, integrated hypnotherapist, emotional freedom technique, practicing radical crystalline mind. She combines all of these and more to facilitate change and empower people. Over to you, Jaanvi.
Hi. Just a second. Yep. I'm sorry. Yeah. So thanks a lot, Karen, for the introduction. Um, uh, the thing which made me choose to work with caregivers because I started seeing the gap uh, with my clients, parents, their spouses, that how much they had been neglecting themselves. And no matter how much I've tried to tell them, I've always seen that gap of they didn't know how to work through it. So, what am I going to be talking about today is all the different modalities, the techniques that you could do it at your home, that you could practice on yourself, which could ease yourself, which could help you release your stress, which could help you get a mental and emotional balance. And these are very simple stuffs where you don't require to put in a lot of effort, or you don't need a lot of time for it also. So you could get that half an hour, 20 minutes in between your duties of taking care of the person. So the first one I'm going to talk about is EFT. EFT is known as emotional freedom technique. Emotional freedom technique is where you are tapping on points. Now, each point over here is connected to the meridian because the base of EFT is from Chinese meridians, and each organ of yours holds some of the other emotions. Your spleen has a particular emotion, your liver has an emotion, and these points are also with your spleen, liver, stomach, heart. So they all are the points which are there. So they are simultaneously energizing you. They are simultaneously working on your emotions. They are simultaneously calming you down. They are simultaneously also giving you a lot of clarity. So it's a very complete holistic approach which you go with it with EFT, and it's very simple to do. The next one is arts-based therapy. Now, when we talk about arts-based therapy, it's nothing to do with, it's just not visual. When I say visual arts, it's your painting, your collage. It's something that you're being doing with your hand, you're seeing and you're drawing, you're painting, or you're making something. It's also to do with music, it's to do with your body movements, it's to do with your sound, it's to do with your oral that is narrating a story or getting creative, because that is where when you're working with your right hemisphere and your left hemisphere of the brain. So you're combining both and you are expressing your emotions, you're expressing your thoughts, you're also expressing a lot of your subconscious uh, beliefs or your subconscious or your hidden emotions which are there, which you're not acknowledging it. So that is where you use it with arts based therapy. And again, that's more on the way of very fun, playful, creative way of expressing yourself. It's getting in touch with that inner child of yours. The other one is access consciousness. Now, access consciousness is again one of a very beautiful modality where all you do is just relax, okay, and just there are points on your head, and each point is connected to some of the other aspects of your life, which is to do with your creativity, your body, your kindness, joy, and gratitude, uh, your stress, your belief systems. So what's happening when you're touching those points on the head? Okay, it's working from the head to your entire body, because the energy is running in your entire body and it's releasing anywhere where there is the stress. So, and anywhere that you have even locked yourself down, like with caregivers, they go into being that, oh, we are too selfish if we take care of ourselves, or there is psychosomatic disorders which is taking place in your body, or your kidneys are being affected with a lot of guilt, anger, shame, and there's a problem with breathing. There's so much that the caregivers go through. So this is going to land up relaxing them completely. That is another modality which you could do with. And then the other one, which is again to do with meditation. Meditation, again, there are many different forms of meditation. You could go with Osho meditation, which is about the dynamic meditation, or you could download particular apps which have n number of meditation. One of the one which I really love is Insight Timer. Now that one has a lot of meditations program where you could just flow with it and be with it and go with it and, like, calm yourself down. Then the other one which is there, it's known as a frequency device, which is known as Healy. Now, that is where when you're there with whatever you're been doing, all you have to do is just put the device, have the electrodes over here, and select a program which is there, which could be with your sleep, which could be with your energy, which could be with, calming yourself down, which could be with your immune system, because caregivers go through a lot of stress. Their immune systems are hampered. So you could even use that. So it's and again a very holistic way of working on your mind, your body, your emotions. And then the other one, we all know about homeopathy, how homeopathy works. with those little small pills. There's an other with it, which is known as bark flower remedy. Now, bark flower remedy works completely on your emotions and your thoughts. Now, if you are burnt out, now, now this is just an example. Now you are going through a burnout. Now, what is the thought behind the burnout? It's that I'm unable to cope up with it. I'm being overwhelmed with all my work. I don't know how am I going to manage everything. I'm tired, but I have to pull this through. If I don't pull this through, there is an immense guilt, or there is a regret if you have missed or you've become late for 10 minutes, or you have taken an extra 5 minutes rest. So all of those are your thoughts and your emotions, which bark flower looks into. So then there are particular remedies. So there are 38 remedies in it. So based on what you're going through, it's what you are dealing with, what are your thoughts, how is your energy. Based on that, a particular combination of remedies are being prescribed. And the best part about all of these, whatever I'm talking about, the therapies and techniques, there is no side effects to any. So just in case if you land up uh, using a bit more of doing 2 rounds extra of EFT, there is no harm in it. If you land up having a bark flower and instead of 4 doses, you land up having 5, there is no side effect to it. Okay, and if you want to land up writing journals, you run instead of 1 page, 2 page, you land up writing 5 pages. Again, there is nothing, there's no harm in it. So anything whatever I'm been mentioning about, it's always on the complementary side, which has no side effects of anything that's going on. So these are some methods, these are some stuffs that you could try it on. And I am going to be demonstrating EFT at the moment. And we would be working on stress. So stress of uh, anything that you're going through. Like one of the stress that I could think of at the moment, oh, this is, I don't know, how am I going to go through this phase, which is very tough at the moment. So all you have to do is, if you could tap along with me, okay, these are your karate chop points. So this is, we call this as karate chop point. Okay, I'll just show you the points and then you could follow it. So this is the karate chop point. That is the first point where all you do is like 2 fingers or 3 fingers, which is tap in. Then we have the eyebrow, the outer side of the eyebrow, where just right your eyebrow starts. So that's one point. Okay, and then we have like right at the center, which is at your temple. We have this one point. Then we have right under the eye over here. This is another point. Then your upper lip, then your under the chin, your collarbone. So your collarbone is where you have this the end of the like the V shape which you get here, the bone. Okay, right over here you could find a dent. Like see here, you'll find a little dent. Okay, so that is another point which you could tap. Okay, and then you have it under your arm, which is right under your arm, where you could look it up for men, mostly at the center of your chest. To the move, you move from the nipple over here, so that's a point. Right over here you tap, and then you have the top of the head, which is the center of your head, where people even call it a crown. So this is the point. Yes, so we'll be working on these points with your emotions. So we'll start with one thing, that I'm stressed out or I'm overwhelmed. So let's go with that. Um, Even though I'm completely stressed out, I still choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm overwhelmed with all the responsibilities, I still choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm stressed out, I still choose to love and accept myself completely. I am stressed. I'm stressed. I am stressed. I am stressed out. There's so much to do. There's so little time. I don't know where am I. There are times I feel lost. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed with everything that is happening around me. I still gather myself and I stand up. And I'm completely stressed out. I'm stressed out. Take deep breath, release. I'm letting go of my stress. I'm letting go of my stress. I know I could do this. I know I could deal with this. I know I could plan this better. I know I'm important. I know I could take some time out for me. I know even that 2 minutes would make a difference. And it's not wrong. I'm letting go of my stress. I'm releasing it from my body. I'm releasing it from all my organs. I'm releasing it from all my energy systems. I'm letting go of everything that causes me stress. I'm allowing my body to relax. I am relaxing. I am relaxing. I am relaxing in my body, mind, and spirit. Taking deep breaths. Now look at what was your stress at that point and where do you stand now. And if you find that your stress hasn't come down a bit, so you could do a tap round again. Maybe you could do 3 tap rounds and then again see, just take a deep breath and see where are you standing again with your stress. So what you could do is you could start with 0 or 1, which is the least amount of stress, and 10, which is being highest. So this we call it as an SUD scale, where you are measuring the intensity of be it your stress, be it your emotions, be it your thought, be it whatever you're going through. So just put them on that scale and see where you stand uh, before the tapping, and then do 2 rounds of tapping, and then check it up at where you stand again. So if you do it like with 3 times, your stress, if you're at around like 10, it would come down to around 5. And maybe 3 more rounds of tapping, you would come down to at least 2, 3. And then you could see what is an underneath layer. Because as human beings, we have layers and layers of emotions. So maybe I could say the word could be stress, but the reason for stress would be something else. that my leg is paining and I'm still dealing with it and stuff, so I'm still moving on. So that is again where your body is pumping in all the energy towards your leg because there is a pain, and it's trying to heal it, and all the energy of your body is going there, but you're not resting enough for it to recover, and you're using all your reserve energies. So when you keep tapping around, so you just come down to a core of what is causing the stress or what is causing the discomfort, and then you tap it out, and then you start releasing them. So that is one. Now, there's another thing which you could do with arts based therapy. One wonderful thing which I could think of is journaling. So take out 5 minutes or 10 minutes in a day, or be it at night, or be it in the morning, or maybe when you have that time, anywhere between 10 minutes. Try to use pen and paper. If you cannot do that, it's still okay. We all have mobile phones. We could type it on our phone. So type it out. Okay, just write, pour out everything that you're going through. Okay, and just pour it out, and just, it's like, you writing a letter to yourself, or you writing a letter to a god, or you just writing a letter to your best friend, just telling them what you're going through. And it's not necessary anyone has to read that letter, it's just for you. So when you do that, when you have written maybe one letter, two letter, or 2 days of journaling, you could pick up certain keywords which is happening. So maybe the keyword would be anything that uh, I feel that I'm helpless. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know for how long this is going to go. I don't know when would the person become better, or whatever it is going on. Uh, Whatever it is, so just write. You'll have those keywords in those 2 3 days of journaling, or you could even see that in the one day of journaling. Then pick those keywords and then tap. So that way you could combine your journaling, because journaling helps to bring out a lot of your emotions which is there, and do a speed journaling. Again, not where you are thinking, oh, this is what I'm to write, or this is not what am I to write. Oh, no, 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 I don't think this way. Oh, no, 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 I really don't feel this is right. So don't do any of that. Just go with speed journaling with whatever comes up, whatever it is. It could even be as minimalistic or maybe stupid it sound, that I saw a tea vendor and I felt that guy was angry. Okay, it's nothing related to it. But later you may see that that word anger would be reflected into your entire page or two-page in different forms. Okay, that it could be that I was upset, it could be that I was irritated, or it could be anything. So there are many words which are slightly associated to each other, but we'll end up seeing them around us in our way, and we associate it with others. And sometimes there are emotions which are getting projected out. So when you start writing them, you could see an overall theme that is going on in your life, and then you could tap on that. So that is one way to combine EFT and journaling. Now, there's another way which you could work with arts-based therapy, and another form of it is body, because our body holds on to a lot of emotions. Okay, so what you could do with that is like, maybe just pick up an emotion of that you are drained out, because this has been one of a client, caregiver. Like, I am drained out, but I am still fighting the battle. And I know my body is giving up, and I'm still fighting because I want my daughter to be all right. So, what you could do is tap into the emotion of what you are feeling. Okay, tap into where you're feeling in your body. Like, okay, I am too drained out and I don't know what's happening, so I'm feeling it on my chest and I'm feeling it on my abdominal. So look at it, and look at it, what is the emotion of it. Okay, what color is it? um, how is it making you feel? um, what is the intensity of it? Does it has any movement? Try to describe it, and then try to give it a form through your body. Like if I would look into it, oh, this one looked like a like a tornado or like a whirlwind, which is like, where it's just spiraling down and I don't know how to see it. So I don't know what's going in. It looks like everything is just going deep inside and I can't see anything. So, okay, so there's an image which is spiraling. So what I could do is maybe I could move my hands in that way. Okay, this is how it's spiraling down because this is how I see it. Or you could use your entire body to give that shape. Okay, and once you've given that shape to it, like, okay, now this is the spiraling form. Okay, now, okay, this is what it feels inside my body. Now, how would I like to change this? Now, what would I like it to be? Okay, I would like it to be more calmer and more easeful. So allow your body to be easeful. So maybe initially you would want to go, oh, this is how easeful I want it to be and floating. But just be in connect with your body and allow your body to go. Maybe when you're too much in touch with the body, when you are listening to your body, you would land up feeling that, okay, the world has gone a little this way. Maybe it's just gone a little more and then a little more and breathe in till the time you feel that calmness. So this is another way for you to work with your body, okay, with your emotions, with your body, and allow it to release. So that again is going to take you maximum 10-15 minutes in your day, which you're helping to release this thing from your body. Now, so now I'll tell you how you could combine all of them. This is what I do with all my therapies is combining everything. Now, if you like painting, because some people love coloring, so you could use crayons. Okay, so you could use crayons where, now take an example of the same whirlwind. Now, this is how I see, this is what I would like to express it from my body. But I don't want to do it with my body, but I want to paint them out. Then maybe I'll just take a crayon and I would paint that entire thing out. I would just paint them out and I would breathe in and calm yourself down after you've painted and then maybe write something next to it. Okay, just write a small para explaining what you feel. That is another way of expressing yourself out so that you're allowing everything that is pent up to be out. So that is another way to work it out. So so you have painted something and then you have written something and then you could look at both of it and then you could like see how you want to resolve it. Do you want it to be that way, or if you want to resolve it right now, it's absolutely okay. You could come back tomorrow and do it also. uh, there's no point in hurrying it up, because when you're trying to hurry it, you're again stressing and you're pressurizing yourself to move from one level to another level. So it's like I'm telling you, hey, relax, don't stress out too much, it's fine. And then I'm also making you, pressurizing you to finish a task as quickly as possible. That's adding on to a stress. So that's the same thing, you will be doing it to yourself. I want to let the stress go, but I also want to hurry it up to let my stress go. So I'm adding stress on stress. It's like, seriously, it's not going to help any one of us or even you in the long run. So you would not know which stress are you actually going to work out on.
That's
So
very
that's the thing.
interesting.
Yeah, because we all do that. So it's very funny and it's very interesting because we don't know how are we catching on the stress, and the way of getting out of stress is again stressing us out because we want to do it very faster. So
Everybody wants to get out of the stress quickly. That's definitely so.
and then
And
you're stressing
and
yourself out.
this is a long term thing. It's not just a short term thing. It's going to be there. It's not going to go away. We all know that. So yeah,
Yeah.
we are dealing with long term stress. So that's why we hope rather that things will change. Tomorrow will be a better day. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. So I have seen people do that. There was a time when I used to do that, and yeah, we all been there, done that. So now how would you combine this one with EFT? So then, if you feel that your stress is not getting out, okay, even though I feel that my stress is there, even though I feel burnout, even though I'm irritated, I feel irritated, I feel irritated, I feel irritated, and go with that same SUD scale of seeing where you stand. So it's see, everything could be combined. Okay, these are very simple techniques. Okay, these are very simple doable things that you could do it. Now if you are going out for a walk, when you're too stressed out and you want to go out for a walk, now the other thing is beautiful is being mindful. Okay, just when you're taking a stroll out, uh, just there, just observe a flower, observe a leaf. We have a lot of flowers, we have a lot of leaf, and especially rocks. There are a lot of stones around, there are too many structures around. Just pick up one spot which just catches your area and just observe it. Okay, the moment you're observing it, you're looking at all the minute details of it. What happens is that one, your brain slows down. Okay, your brain and your body slows down. It's like, it's more of like, going into detail. Your breath level starts going slower, and it's just there. Now let me just give you a very simple example. Now I have this tissue. So if you land up looking at the tissue, okay, for a longer time, you will land up seeing some lines on it. Okay, you will end up seeing what it is, how it is carved, whether the surface is a bit rough, whether it's soft. Maybe you could pick up a leaf, you could pick up a tissue and just start touching it and feeling it, because it's giving a sensation to your body, and it's
Mm.
making you being aware of where you are at present. It's making you be in the now, in the present. So when you start doing this and you're even spending 5 minutes, you would not even know. Okay, your brain starts relaxing. uh, your mind starts calming down, because a lot of the clutter sounds that is on the side which is going on, it completely shuts down and becomes more focused on one particular thing. And you would start observing that your breath pattern has changed. So maybe you'll end up taking more deeper breath. Your body will end up relaxing a bit more. So this is something which you could do it anytime. Maybe just pick up a leaf from somewhere, maybe a flower, anything. You could just pick up any object, maybe even a water bottle. Like I could pick up a water bottle and you could just observe this water bottle, maybe even to this label over here. Okay, that, oh, it's cut, and how is the shape of the cut? Okay, just look at it and start being more present with it, and look at the level of water, look at, are there any scratches on the bottle? Okay, just observing even this thing. Okay, and looking into the detailing of it and describing it, okay, is going to land up become making you being more mindful, being more calmer, becoming more present. So these are the very simple things that you could do it at any given moment. So
We are running
yeah,
out of time. Sorry, Jaanvi.
yeah, no, I was also done, I'm also done. So these are the things that you could work through it. Yep, that is what I know of at the moment, which I could help you up with. And one last thing, which is radical insight. Radical insight is all about working on your mind, body, and soul level, where we land up working with particular statements, looking where the emotion is stuck in your body, and then we land up assigning a statement to it based on a chakra system, based on emotions, and then you recite them, and then that lands up changing everything in your body, your mind, and whatever it's happening in very different levels. So these are the small techniques, and I hope they will help.
Thank you so much. I'm sure it will be. That was very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we could use some of those tips.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
And our next speaker we have is Dr. Vasudha Gokhale. She's a pediatric physiotherapist and psychological counselor. She has a degree in physiotherapy from Bombay University and a postgraduate diploma in psychological counseling from Ferguson College, Pune. She has also attended various short courses, workshops, conferences in the field of psychology. Dr. Gokhale, wow. She has worked in Saudi Arabia in a private hospital in Kuwait. and in Kuwait in a government hospital as a pediatric physiotherapist since 2009. She has started her own private practice in Pune. She runs a pediatric specialty clinic, Sparsh Clinic on Karve Road, which caters to children with special needs. All types of therapy services, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, speech and language therapy, remedial teaching, and psychological testing are provided in this clinic. She is currently engaged in providing psychological counseling services for all types of non-clinical cases. Counseling sessions for parents of children with special needs, stress management workshops for parents with special needs, all done by her. Her other engagements and accomplishments, she's worked as an honorary counselor at Sri Mukti Sangatana. This is an NGO working towards the upliftment of women, chiefly by creating awareness in the society about women's issues and issues relating to equality, peace, and development. Along with two other colleagues, she runs a teen club for teenagers named Udan. Also conducted a one-week workshop for this age group in IPH in year 2019. She has written and published a book for parents of special needs children named Shiv Dhanushya Peltana. What does it mean, ma'am? Please tell us. And has participated in a Triveni project of IPH conducting monthly sessions for teachers. That's a lot you have done. Yes, please tell us what your book is also all about and what does it mean? Over to you, ma'am.
Sure. So, how much time do I have, Karen?
You have till one. You have 25 minutes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, should I? I'll share the screen so that you can. I'll go through my PPT at the same time.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Can you see that? Karen, is it okay? Meaning, can you see the screen? Yeah. Okay.
Please go ahead. We can see it.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to talk about a little bit about my book and how do I look at all these things. Care for caregivers. Okay, my journey with families of children with special needs. It started in 2009 when I came down to India and started my clinic. As Karen introduced, that we have all these services, so we provide in this clinic. But ever since I started interacting with parents, as Karen said in her introduction, that yes, parenting is challenging and special parenting is all the more. Okay, and this challenges start right from the birth of special need, and this is a lifelong challenge. The stressor is lifelong. It's not that temporary or for a time being. So parents have to be really working on self for lifelong. They have to be prepared. Type and intensity of challenge changes with age, stage. Some challenges are disability specific, some are common, and all areas of life are affected: personal life, family life, social life, professional life. And one more thing, the job of parenting a special need child does not give you offer any concessions from other problems of life. They are, all the time they are there. So you don't get any concession because you are dealing with this problem. And stress goes on building. Okay. All types of therapies are available for children, but what about parents? Parents respond to this stress differently. I witnessed many parents in my career, and the way every child was unique, every parent was unique too, in terms of how they are dealing with this stress. Some I have seen some managing, some overcoming, and some collapsing also. Okay. So in the whole journey, I always felt that well-being of parents is so important. And it is important because it affects children. Okay. Caregiving is lifelong job. So if parents are, and what was my other observation was, parents are ready to do everything for their children, but neglect self. Okay. And it was all, like taking care of self-interest, protecting self-interest is equal to selfishness. They had all the misconceptions. When I used to talk about it, they all had misconceptions about taking counseling sessions, talking about their mental health. And that was bothering me. Many of the times it used to happen that I used to end up interacting with parent more than giving therapy to a child. And over there, I felt the need to empower parents. Okay. And because I just came across one sentence I shared here, any battle is won twice, first in your head, which was very true with parents. So parental empowerment was a must. That's what I felt. But how? How to go ahead about it? There were very many limited sources available for parents. Okay. There were books. I went through the books, what are available for parents. So many of the books were written by Western authors, so social contexts were different. So parents had difficulty relating to it. Indian authors also had written some books. Some parents had disclosed their life journey, their success stories. Okay, and there was other professionals also writing book, but it was about specific disability and sharing their experiences. Self-help books written by other mental health professionals, they were providing general guideline, but not addressing the specific issues in which parents of special needs children are struggling. And there was stress management course, again, not tailor-made, catering to unique needs of parents with children with special needs. Self-help or support groups are available. But what I noticed that this idea was not very popular. It had not got so much popularity. Many logistical problems faced by parents to attend meetings regularly. So I was thinking, what can be done to help parents? I was talking with them a lot. I was interviewing them, interacting with them, and nothing was really available to guide them. Okay, all types of which is there for them in all types of struggle they are facing in day-to-day life. And over there, I decided that okay, if this is my wish to empower parents, I have to get empowered first myself. Okay, so I ended up doing a course in counseling. I said, let me understand the technical know-how of it. Okay, and then so I did counseling course myself. Then I started started interviewing with parents, extensive interviewing with parents, understanding parents, where parents unfolded wide spectrum of challenges faced by them. And I observed the pattern was self-defeating thoughts and self-empowering thoughts. Okay, overcoming this stressful situation. As I said earlier, some parents were able to cope up with it. Some parents were able to, overcome it. Whereas there were a set of parents who were not, who were very stressful and landing up in very negative consequences. So, with all my journey, then I ended up in writing this book, Shivadhanusha Peltana. Okay, those whoever they know Shivadhanusha, okay, in Ramayana, Shivadhanusha is a tough one. Okay, usko uthana, it itself is a challenge. Okay, so what I have always seen, parenting a child with special need is a challenge, and not everyone can, unless and until you are empowered, it becomes very difficult, it becomes very stressful to manage. And that is why the name of the book is Shivadhanusha Peltana. All parents are doing that day in and out, they are doing that. And what if they get equipped, what if they get empowered to do that, their life will be a little bit easier. I know this stress is not going to go away. Okay, as everyone said, the stress is there, but at least if I can reduce the intensity of it, okay, from intolerable level to tolerable level. Okay, so a little help if any parent gets after reading this book, after having counseling sessions with me, after attending stress management workshop, that's all I wanted, a little help. Okay, that's what my contribution. And this book is free of cost. Any parent can come to me, take the book. Counseling sessions free of cost. Again, any parent can come and take counseling sessions, just take appointment and take counseling sessions for themselves. So that was, I believe that was my, social contribution towards the field I'm working for. Now I'll go little bit in detail of what this book and how do I go about it. What is it all about? This is the cover page of the book. It is in Marathi, and we are translating it now, and pretty soon we'll be coming up with the translation also. So as soon as it is translated in English, I'll let people know about it. Okay, this book has 8 subsections. And as you said, I'm in the field of psychological counseling. So Jaanvi gave us a nice demonstration, the techniques, simple techniques which parents can do for themselves to relieve stress. I have looked at this problem more from a psychological perspective, and again discussed stresses in parents' life, and tried to explain what exactly happens, how our thoughts, emotions, and behavior get disrupted when the stress is there. So I identified various life situations, putting forth various challenges at different ages and stages of life, starting from birth till adolescent stage. Okay, and there is stressor at every level. So I just tried to explain this to parents in this book. For example, the first moment when the parent comes to know about the child is having special need, this is something unexpected. They're not prepared for it. Okay, and there's a gap between what I expect and what I get. There's a shock. Okay, nobody is prepared. As I said, nobody is trained for counseling, parenting. Nobody is trained for parenting a child with special needs. So everything is, coming unexpectedly. It's a shock for them. It's a challenge. And we all know challenge causes stress. My brain immediately starts analyzing. When I come across a stressful situation, challenging situation, what happens? Okay, what happens in my brain? My brain immediately start analyzing. Okay, my what brain analyzes? My capacities, my resources, and versus perceived demands of that challenging situation. Okay, so in simple term, I explain parents this. What is stress? If you see a balance scale, this is not a balanced state, right? So this is what I always explain to parents, that in front of me there is a challenging situation. So this side you can see it's heavier, where perceived demands of the challenge, in Marathi, आव्हानात्मक परिस्थितीची मागणी. माझ्यासमोर इतकं मोठं आव्हान येऊन ठेकलंय, आणि एवढं हे कसं करू मी? हाऊ एम आय गोइंग टू डू दिस? मला तर काहीच माहिती नाही. हा असा प्रॉब्लेम आहे की कुठे मी बघितलं नाही, ऐकलं नाही, काय करायचं असतं माहित नाही. सो perceived demands of the challenges become heavier than my capacities. Can I do that? Okay, I don't know anything. This is all uncertain. I don't know this. I've never heard a term cerebral palsy. I've never heard a term Down syndrome. I've never heard even. I've never seen a child who is struggling with autism. Okay, and all this I'm listening for the first time. Who deals with? So there is so much going on right from the beginning in parents' life. It starts over there, and it starts building up the stress. So I generally explain stress in this terminology, which where parents are able to understand it. Yeah, that's what happens. They can relate to themselves. Okay, rather than going into much complicated language, I explain them in simpler language. And what happens? So there are so many areas where parents are struggling, right from acceptance, right from the financial part of it. There are in the family, there are so many disputes. Meaning everyone's approach towards looking at therapy, towards looking at child's struggles is different. There can be disputes, there can be non-cooperation, society being so insensitive. Okay, there are so many issues with that also. Parents, many of the time, they have to do compromises in their career. Okay, there is so much they don't know about the problem, and the worst part of it is, like, what will happen in the future. the concern about future, what after me. So all this, I've just labeled few. There are plenty like this. So what happens in your mind when you are coming across all these struggles on various levels? So as a psychological counselor, I always help parents to introspect, look at themselves. In a counseling session, what happens? Okay, when one-on-one counseling session is happening, it is always parents have to look at their thoughts, emotions, and behavior, and what all this, how it affects your physical health. And as I said earlier, until and unless you take care of yourself, how can you take care of your child? So first, I always insist that you take care of yourself. Okay, do all this cleansing. So what happens in the, let's see now one by one, what happens in the emotional level? There are so many unwanted, unhealthy emotions. Okay, मी नेहमी म्हणते की नकारात्मक भावनांचा कल्लोळ असतो मनात. Okay, all these negative emotions, like you are on a roller coaster ride always. Okay, just to name few. The first question arises in parents' mind: why me? It's ka. What is the emotion attached? Depression, right? Okay. People are inquisitive about it. भोचकपणे प्रश्न विचारत असतात. राग येत असतो आपल्याला बघा. ओके. मुलाच्या भवितव्याला घेऊन आपल्या पालकांच्या मनात चिंता असते, एन्झायटी असते. जेव्हा आपण बाकीच्या नॉर्मल मुलांची छान वाढ होताना बघत असतो, माइलस्टोन्स अचीव्ह करताना बघत असतो, कुठेतरी आपल्याला मत्सराची एक वाटून जाते. आणि काय म्हणतात ना, चुकीचं नाही आहे, स्वाभाविक, अतिशय स्वाभाविक आहे ते. मुलाची थेरपी आपल्यामुळे चुकली, ओके, आपण नाही पुरे पडू शकत होत, त्याची कुठेतरी एक गिल्ट वाटत राहते. मुलाची प्रगती अपेक्षेप्रमाणे होत नाहीये, चाइल्ड प्रोग्रेस इज नॉट हॅपनिंग ऍज पर एक्सपेक्टेशन, डाऊट यायला लागतो. दुसरं मूल होण्याबाबत काय निर्णय घेऊ, कन्फ्युजन असतं. सो आय जस्ट named few emotions. These are called unwanted, unhealthy emotions. These are not going to take you ahead. And what happens? Everyone passes through this stage. But, okay, होता प्रॉब्लेम कुठे होतो की त्या इमोशन्स जर का हेवी व्हायला लागल्या, हावी व्हायला लागल्या तुमच्यावर. Okay, just read the last sentence. Problem is like a briefcase. If you add emotion, it becomes suitcase. So parents have to be really aware what emotions they are going through. Okay, kasha unhealthy, unwanted emotions, if they started becoming really heavy and really overtaking or hijacking my brain, what will happen? The emotions will block rational thinking abilities. Now what is rational thinking abilities? आपण नेहमी म्हणतो ना, कुठल्याही दोन माणसांचा संवाद बघा, जेव्हा एक माणूस हेवी इमोशन्स मध्ये असतो, व्हॉट पीपल से, भावनेच्या भरात निर्णय घेऊ नको. रागाच्या भरात आपण काहीही बोलून जातो, दुःखाच्या आवेगात आपल्या हातून काहीही कृत्य होऊ शकतं. ओके, सो इट इटसेल्फ सेज की व्हेन इमोशन्स आर हेवी, इमोशन्स आर ऑन द ड्रायव्हिंग सीट, your actions, if they are driven by emotions, not necessarily they will be healthy all the time. Okay, so our rational thinking abilities have to be intact, and for them to be intact, we have to take care of our emotion. And how can that happen? It can happen either in a counseling session or you learn the self-help tool. For example, how Jaanvi demonstrated few techniques, okay, taking care of this all unwanted emotions, unwanted, unhealthy emotions. You have to learn few techniques or take counseling sessions, do reading, take help of self-help tools. There are available. There are tools available, but you have to be aware. Parents are generally not aware of these things. And in my book, I just try to create that awareness that please take care of yourself. Okay, so coming back to again rational thinking abilities. So what happens with this rational thinking abilities when emotions block this? You cannot differentiate between factors under control and factors beyond control. Okay, you cannot see other options. When anxiety is very high, you cannot see other options. Your expectations that turn into demands. You start awfulizing the situation. You start underestimating your own capacities. You become blame focused instead of problem focused. And in the whole process, there is a deviation from your goal. And this vicious circle continues until and unless you take some active step to break it. Okay. So what needs to be done? What is the solution now? We saw the first scale. I'll just go back to the initial slide. Okay. This was not balanced. The heavy part was demand perceived. I'm saying not demands of the challenge. It is perceived, how you have perceived it, how a parent has perceived it. Okay. And then my capacity. So you can see there is an imbalance. Now, if I want to strike a balance, what will I do? जड पाड्यातलं वजन मी कमी काढीन आणि हलक्या पाड्यात मी वजन टाकीन ना. जड पाड कोणतं होतं? Perceived demands of the situation. Okay, so how I have perceived that situation, the challenging situation, how I have perceived. And if I have perceived it in a not very healthy way, all negative emotions will be attached. So if I want to reduce this, if I want to reduce the weight from this, I have to work on my emotions, I have to work on my thoughts, and I have to work on my behavior with the help of counseling sessions. Okay, the counselor is there to help you to deal with your emotions, vent out your emotions. There are various forms to vent out your emotions. Okay, this is not enough, no? There is a difference between feeling better and getting better. Okay, emotions venting out is you feel better. Okay, but you have to go a little more deeper also. You have to go at your thoughts level also. You have to look at your perception also. What perspective of yours is making you feel so? So we have to really work on that also. So there are some self-help techniques based upon rational emotive behavior therapy principles. What does it do? It identifies your own self-defeating thinking patterns and helps you to change the perspective, to look at the thing. Situation is same, but you are changed now. Your perspective to look at it changes. Okay, so on the left hand side, the whatever is heavy, you have reduced it. And now looking at the my capacities and my resources, you have to acquire this new skill. You have to expand your resources. So you will strike the balance. Okay. So imagine a balance scale which is like this. If it comes little bit over here, I don't think so it is going to come over here. But even from this age, if it comes till here, life is going to be little more easier. Okay. So this is what I do in my counseling session, in my stress management workshop with parents. Everything is given in this book also. Whatever small topics are there, as I said. Okay, the book is divided into 8 parts. Every age and every stage of life and life of the parent and child is discussed over here, starting from disability certificate till what after me. Starting from acceptance, why me, till why people inquire. का लोक भोचकपणे चौकशी करत असतात, का माझ्या कुटुंबातली लोक मला सहकार्य करत नाही, इथपर्यंत सगळं काही या पुस्तकात डिस्कस केलेलं आहे. Parents are finding it easy to relate because parents only have given me, all my parents were so wonderful, giving me all the inputs of what they go through and where they need help. Okay, so thankfully with the help of parents, I was able to write this book. And do I have time, Karen, to
Sorry, yes.
do I have time
to read a chapter?
If time permits.
Okay. We have passed time, but if
No, that's okay. No, then
if you'd like for 5 minutes, you can go ahead.
No, then I'll just go through a little bit. But I will not read the whole chapter. Okay, but
Okay.
I will just go through a little bit. How
Could
I
you,
have explained. I'll just give an example.
could you stop the share screening, please?
It's on the
If you're
screen.
finished.
Only. It's on the screen. Okay, I will do
Okay.
that.
No problem. It's on the screen. It's good enough.
Okay. So each topic I have explained with the help of a small case study and a story, you know, in the book. So if you read book, it will become easier to understand. Okay, I'll just give you two examples. Okay, as I have how I have covered this topic. For example, why me? The question raised in every parent's mind, you know, why me? So what is the emotion behind it? What is the, you know, the self-defeating thought behind me? When I come across situation like this, I awfulize the situation. The situation is perceived beyond control. Nothing is under my control. Okay, and why I'm the chosen one to face all these challenges, all this stress. Okay, challenge is converted to stress. Then I start demanding. What is my demanding thought? If I'm good, everything good should happen with me. That's what is my value. That's what is taught to me ना, की तुम्ही चांगले असाल तर तुमच्या बाबतीत चांगलंच होतं. आणि मग असं काहीतरी झालं की आपण चॅलेंज करायला लागतो. मी तर म्हणतात ना, मी कोणाचं कधी काही वाईट केलं नाही तर माझ्या बाबतीत हे संकट का? ओके, आणि मग तिकडनं आपण आपलं इमोशनल सगळं टर्मॉइल सुरू होतं. डिप्रेशन, गिल्ट, एव्हरीथिंग. Okay, so in the counseling sessions or in the book also it is discussed, I have elaborated on this little bit, and I just help the parent to change their perspective from why me to why not me. Okay, the simple change in perspective. Okay, from why me to why not me, with the help of everything I have written in the book. Okay, and when the perspective is changed, it takes a lot of effort to change this perspective, of course. Then what happens? The emotion, the intensity of the emotion will come down. If it is on the scale of 1 to 10, if the bothering emotions intensity is at the level of say 8 or 9, as Jaanvi said, it will come down to 5, at least from intolerable level, it will come to tolerable level when the perspective is changed. Another small example, people keep inquiring, you know, आपण जेव्हा 4 लोकात असतो, लोक बोचकपणे काहीतरी प्रश्न विचारतात आणि आपल्याला पालकांना भयंकर त्याचा राग येतो. ओके, त्या रागाच्या मागचं कारण काय असतं? व्हॉट इज द रिझन बिहाइंड दॅट अँगर? अँगर इज अ इमोशन अटॅच विथ इन्क्वायरी. ओके, लोकांनी सेन्सिटिव्ह, कसं लोक सेन्सिटिव्ह का नाही राहू शकत या बाबतीत? People have to be, people must be sensitive, empathetic and understanding. Okay, when you have such belief that people must be, remember, when it is a must be is underlined, when you are so demanding from people, okay, the what will be the associated thought? Anger. If people are not like this, you will get angry. Now, during the counseling session, I just help parent to change this perspective. Okay, that people do not do things to hurt you, but you get hurt by the things they do. They are ignorant, they are illiterate. Let me take this opportunity to educate them. Okay, so if the perspective is changed, emotion will change and you will be better in control of your emotion and you can handle the situation. So such things, meaning I just gave you 2 examples. So like that, there are many life examples which come, experiences which parents only have told me. Okay, and I have made use of those examples only. And I have given simple tips how to handle such situation, how to look at your thoughts. Okay, how to look at your disturbing thought and how to change that thought. Okay, ultimately, see, we all have power of thinking. We have power to think about our thinking, and we have power to change the thinking. We just have to use it, and that's what I have, emphasized in this book. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very, very enlightening and such a lot of information. And please do send us a little more information about your book. It will be very helpful. And especially if the translation is there, great. It'll be, I mean, many more could avail of it. So yes, thank you so much for all your inputs, very valuable information given by Jaanvi as well as Dr. Gokhale. Thank you so much. I'd like to conclude. In all this, yes, me time is the most important, and even something as simple as a friendly phone call can reduce so much stress for the caregivers. Enhanced social support can also give help with caregiver depressions. Taking some me time isn't a selfish act. When you feel better, you can be better and a better caregiver too. The necessity of finding and maintaining a balance in taking care of one's own physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs are not feeling guilty for doing so is important. Boundaries can get blurry when you're caring for your child. If your loved one needs care on a full time basis, recognizing that you can't do it alone is important. You need help. You have a life to live too. Your own health and other relationships are at stake. So learn to say no when it's appropriate. Otherwise, resentment can spill over into the relationships. Remember, it's normal to become overwhelmed and confused. Take it one day at a time for best results and take it easy on your own self. So, thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice afternoon. And we will be putting up Dr. Gokhale's book and telephone number. If anybody would like to have a copy of the book, they're most welcome to get in touch with her directly. And Jaanvi's number too will be put up. So if you would like to get in touch with her directly, please do so. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.